Lego. Lego. You have arrived, it's the place. No more doubts, the time is coming. Feel how the planets become one, like a drum. Destiny is calling. German, Colombian, Spanish, and French. Off the bench, you gotta own it. Down here we play, like we dance. It's Brazil, and now you know it. Is it true that you want it? Then act like you mean it. With everyone watching, it's truth or dare. Can you feel it? La 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 la. I dare you. Is it true that you want it? Then act like you mean it. The whole world is watching. It's truth or dare. Can you feel it? Feel it, feel it, feel it,
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Cal State East Bay. We're so glad to have you all here. Welcome to our graduate spring orientation. This has been a lot of time in the works for us, and so we're excited to have you all get to meet you tonight. So thank you for coming out. I'm going to go over a few tips really quickly, just so you all can have the best Zoom experience today. So if you could update your profile name, just go over to your name and right click, and you can put in the name you want to go by today. We ask that you don't have nicknames in there. You can also put your pronouns if you're comfortable. We also ask that you turn your cameras on tonight. We appreciate being able to see your faces. It helps us feel like there are people in the room, so we'd love to be able to see you. We also ask if you could upload a profile picture if you're not able to do that. We ask you to keep your microphones on mute. We'll be having some speakers today and some videos and stuff, so it's always helpful not to have things in the background. And there's also live transcriptions on, so you can go down to your bottom row and you should be able to just turn on subtitles if you need those. We ask that you participate in the chat. I see some of y'all are already doing that. It's going to be the best way for us to get to know you tonight as we're doing this virtual orientation. We're going to be dropping a lot of information, asking questions, so make sure you're doing that. If you get disconnected at any point, just use that same Zoom link that you have. It'll get you right back to this room. And if you need any help, just email us at bbhelp or orientation@csueastbay.edu. So once again, officially welcome. I'm Nick Rugeley. I'm the orientation coordinator here at Cal State East Bay. So my role in this at Cal State is to just help you all get acclimated to our campus. We know all of you are grad students, so you've done this, orientation thing before. You've gotten your degrees before, but we know that things can be different learning what we do here at Cal State East Bay. We have a lot of different processes, a lot of different programs that we use that you might not use before. So we want to make sure that we're providing a way for you all to learn that information and help you meet other grad students as well. So this truly is a welcome back for us. We're coming back to campus. The pandemic has been a long time, and we're actually doing events on campus, programs, activities. A lot of our classes are being offered in person again too. So this is a welcome back to Cal State East Bay. And so we're excited that you all get to join us in January to be a part of that transition. Today is going to be a packed hour. We got a lot of information for you. We have some guest speakers coming up, and then we're going to do a quick breakout session with our orientation team student leaders. So you'll get to meet them. They'll go over some things that will be helpful for you as a student. And then they'll also walk you through the next orientation events that you all have an opportunity to participate in. And so, yeah, make sure you take advantage of that today. And then we'll have some time at the end for an open Q&A, because I imagine you all might have questions that come up throughout the day. So make sure you ask those at the end. We'll save about 10 minutes or 15 if we can for that. So the goals today are pretty simple. We want y'all to ask those questions that you have. We hope you get to meet someone that you didn't know today. Start building your cohort, start building your connection. It's going to be networking is going to be a huge part of what you do here at Cal State East Bay. And then the last thing is that you leave this session knowing more about Cal State East Bay than you came in with, and you'll be ahead of the game when you start here in January. So with all those things being said, we do have a special video for you all. This is a rite of passage to become a pioneer. So we are glad to welcome you all to our family with this video called Time to Rise.
Good morning, East Bay. This is it. This is the day. This is where I come from. And this is my community. This is my family. These are my people. This is my university. And this is our day.
This is where I made friends I'll never forget. This is where I made a suitcase packed with energy. This is where I made the grade. This is where I made the team. This is where I made mistakes and found out it's okay.
This is where I made something of myself, where I found myself, found my calling, found my confidence.
This is where I found my phone after I thought it was lost. Whew, that was scary.
This is where I play with lasers. This is where I play with numbers. Play it cool. Play catch, or just play. This is where I learned to live on my own. I don't miss Mom.
This is where I learned about art, about how to dream,
about leadership, about social media,
about feeding hungry students.
私はここで日本語を学んだ。
This is where I learned to run a stock portfolio.
This is where I learned how much more I have to learn.
This is where I started a business. This is where I started a movement. This is where I started an experiment, and it's still going on.
This is where I start building my future. This is where I become a nurse,
A teacher,
an engineer,
an entrepreneur,
a change agent.
a pioneer. This is where I became who I am today. This is the new me. This is where I start rising. This is where I can always come back and feel welcome. This is the day I graduate. But this is not where my story ends. This is where it begins.
All right, so I hope you all are inspired a little bit by that video, and no matter how much time you're spending here at East Bay, whether it's 2 or 3 years, we hope that you take the time to, join our Pioneer family. I know myself getting my grad degree, I didn't take that opportunity to join really in my grad institution, and so I hope you know that we are here for you and we want to welcome you to our community. So with that being said, it's a special honor of mine to welcome our special guest, Dr. Marguerite Heinrichs, Director of Student Life and Leadership Programs, to give you all our university welcome.
Thank you so much, Nick, and good evening. This is your Friday night live party here at Cal State East Bay. Graduate students, give yourselves a round of applause. You have made it to the next journey, to the next leg, rather, of your academic journey. I am Dr. Marguerite Heinrichs, and I'm the Director of Student Life and Leadership Programs here at Cal State East Bay. I'm also a faculty member here at Cal State East Bay. I teach online and in the classroom in a couple of different programs. But the most important thing, a piece of information about me and my welcome to you this evening is that I'm also a pioneer. I am a double graduate student of Cal State East Bay. I earned my Master of Science and my Doctor of Education degrees at Cal State East Bay. So I know full well what it means to experience Cal State East Bay as a student and as a faculty member and as an alumni. And I want you to be rest assured that you have made the right choice. You have made an excellent decision in terms of continuing your graduate education because Cal State East Bay has so much to offer. On behalf of the Division of Student Affairs and the entire university community, welcome to your new university. No matter where you graduated from as an undergrad, you are now going to become an alumni of Cal State East Bay as you carry through and finish the journey here at Cal State East Bay. One of the goals at orientation is to make sure that you get your questions answered so that you can finish the journey. You might notice a theme in our videos around graduating. We want you to finish. We look forward to you getting hooded in 2, 3, or 4 years, however long it takes you to carry on and complete your graduate journey. We're going to be here to cheer for you when you cross that stage. So welcome to Cal State East Bay. Good luck and be well with your graduate journey. and welcome to Cal State East Bay, and go Pioneers. Thank you, Nick.
Thank you so much. We always love having Dr. Heinrichs with us to give a welcome. And like she said, there's going to be a theme about welcoming you here to East Bay. So we hope you take that away tonight. So next, I would like to welcome our next guest, Dr. Kevin Brown, Director of Graduate Studies, to give you all a few words for welcoming you to Cal State East Bay.
Thank you, Nick and Marguerite, for putting together this wonderful orientation opportunity for our new graduate students. And to our new students, welcome to graduate school at Cal State East Bay. We're so happy that you chose to attend our school to get your graduate degree. I think it'll be a wonderful experience for you. So Nick and his team are going to be covering a lot of important topics during this hour, and I have a few pointers I'd like to share myself. So first off, this orientation is going to cover kind of topics that are important to all graduate students. You will also have another orientation opportunity that we put on by your own degree program. And in that orientation, they will talk about your degree requirements and department policies, what classes maybe you want to take first and in what order. And hopefully you can ask about, say, internships or research opportunities within the department as well. So make sure that you do find out about that. You should have already been contacted by your department to set this thing up. But if you haven't, do please contact them. Also, one of the most important people that you need to, that you have access to is the graduate coordinator for your program. So the graduate coordinator for each degree program is the one that actually looked at your application when you submitted it and actually decided to admit you, thinking that you were going to be successful. They are supposed to be they will be your advisor for your entire time here. So anytime you have any questions about anything, they're your first point of contact. So if you haven't already talked to them, there is a link shown here to the grad studies website where we have a list of all the grad coordinators for all the 50 or some grad programs that we have here at Cal State East Bay. If you're an international student, you have another actual nice point of contact, another advising center, and that's the Center for International Education. So I'm giving you the link to that as well. Go to the next slide, Nick, please. All right, so there are a lot of rules and policies and all kinds of stuff that affect you as a graduate student here. I'd love to suggest to you that you read the university catalog. The university catalog has a section on all the grad policies that it will affect you, as well as a description of your degree program itself, including things as simple as just this important dates section here, so that you know when school starts and when you have to apply for graduation and all the rest of that stuff. So while you may think this is dry and whatever, this is your contract with the university. So it not only provides sort of the rules and policies that you need to follow, but it also shows the rules and policies that the university has to follow when they deal with you. So it's a contract that goes both ways. And so you should be as familiar with it as possible. Your department website probably also has additional information. Some of the degree programs have student handbooks and other sorts of information that's available there. So please do look at that as well. And if you have any questions, you know where to go, your graduate coordinator. Nick, if you could move forward one more. Right, so like all students, undergrad and graduate, you certainly have money on your mind. If you are interested in applying for scholarships, and I think that you all should, please make sure you fill out the FAFSA by the March 2nd deadline. We also have a website here at Cal State East Bay called Pioneer Scholarships that allows you to sort of apply for all the scholarships that are available on the entire campus all at one time. So this includes scholarships that are available to any graduate student, any undergraduate student, but also scholarships that are specific to a particular department. So in my department, computer science, we have like 10 or 12 scholarships that people apply through Pioneer Scholarships. And so you should definitely look into that. There's also several scholarships that my own department or my own office runs, which are oriented towards students who are interested in becoming CSU faculty members. So if you are interested in that kind of thing, please do go look at our grad studies website and look at, there's scholarships available for people who are currently in the master's programs and who are looking to apply towards doctoral programs in the future. One other funding opportunity, if you are interested in doing research with a faculty member, and you should be interested in that because it's a wonderful opportunity, please go check into the Center for Student Research. Students who are doing research can get, with a faculty member, can get funding, which means get paid to do that research with a faculty member. Finally, there's tons of jobs on campus that are typically held by graduate students because you guys know more, you all know more than the rest of the undergrads. So the Center for Center, I forget what SCA stands for now, our tutoring center often hires graduate students to do English and math tutoring. Our STEM lab in the College of Science hires graduate students as well to be learning assistants and help do tutoring there. The Comm Lab hires graduate students. Then individual departments hire teaching assistants and graders. So do contact those organizations or your department if you're interested in any of those kinds of funding opportunities. Nick, can you move it forward one more? All right, so hopefully that provides you just a tiny bit of extra information. Please know that, as Marguerite mentioned, we want you to be successful. You were admitted because your grad coordinator looked at your background and said, this is a person who's going to do well in a graduate program. So do work closely with your faculty advisor and your grad coordinator. Whenever you have a question, make sure you ask them. There's no reason not to. It's their job to advise you. I, just as a suggestion myself, don't try to take too many classes in your first semester. I have people come in, they want to try to take the same load that they took in an undergraduate program, but graduate graduate classes are typically more challenging. So maybe just take 8 or 9 units if that's acceptable in your particular program, and then you can add on more later. Do make sure you develop a good support system. 1/6 of all of the students here at Cal State East Bay are grad students. So there's a lot of people here in your same situation. So hook up with them so that you can actually put together study sessions and sessions for going out and having a good time. All the studies show that if you have a good group that's supporting you, you'll do much better than if you try to do it all on your own. So do join any department clubs and university clubs that you see out there. Have a good time. There's lots of wonderful things going on campus, from campus movie night to our Al Fresco Festival. You know, engage in all that stuff. You know, you'll have a wonderful time and you'll do even better at school than you would otherwise. So that's it for me. Again, thank you very much, Nick and Marguerite, and hopefully I wish the best to all of you new graduate students. Okay.
Thank you so much. And I know for everyone, this is a lot of information, so don't worry, we will be recording this session and we'll also have this slide deck available for you all. So you'll be able to catch up on all this information if you missed anything. So thank you to Dr. Brown for those words. So now I would like to welcome our second guest presenter, Rochelle Thompson, our Assistant Director of Accessibility Services, to give you all more information about the department that she provides.
Yeah, hi everybody. I am so excited to be here talking with you all. It's not usual that I get to chat with grad students, so I'm really excited. I loved that statistic. 1 out of 6, or like 1/6 of the campus is graduate students. That's amazing. So even more excited. So I wanted to talk to you all about accessibility services. So this is the office on campus that works with students who have disabilities or chronic or temporary medical conditions. So one fun statistic for me, because I do love stats, is that 75% of the students registered with our office have non-apparent disabilities. So those are disabilities that you wouldn't necessarily know that an individual has, just kind of like meeting them across the room. So those are disabilities like learning disabilities, mental health conditions, chronic medical conditions, etc. And the reason I bring that up is that one of the most common things that I hear, especially from graduate students, but just from students in general, is, yeah, I've always had X, or I was diagnosed with this a long time ago, but I didn't know that it was a disability, or I didn't know that I could get accommodations. And I've been struggling along this whole time. And wow, I'm so glad I met you now, you know, right as I'm getting ready to graduate. So I'm really excited to get to talk to you at the beginning of your journey, in the hopes that if that's you, or if you meet someone where that is kind of what they're sharing with you, that you'll connect them with us. So a little bit about what we do. We provide accommodations to ensure, and accommodations are essentially designed to ensure that students have the same opportunity to participate in and benefit from their courses. So one of the other common things that I hear is, well, I don't want to have an unfair advantage, right? Like I don't want something my peers don't get, or I don't want it to be easier for me than it is for them. And so the way that I like to envision accommodations or think about them is that college is hard for everyone, or it can be hard for everyone. And it's not our job to make college easy for students with disabilities, it's our job to make it just as hard for them as it is for everybody else. So really leveling that playing field so that everybody's kind of starting from that same place. So common accommodations that we work with or that we provide are accessible testing. It's one of those areas where we see a lot of barriers. Some of those are extended time, alterations to the environment, changes to the exam format to make sure that students can demonstrate their knowledge in the same way that their non-disabled peers can. Similarly, accessible media, converting textbooks, course materials, readings, PowerPoints, essentially anything that's presented in a printed or digital format to ensure that it's accessible and usable by students. We also provide accessible furniture. So I've been to some of the classes on campus, and some of them are a little bit older than others. And their furniture is not really designed for the average person, let alone someone who has a physical disability or a chronic medical condition, and that furniture is just truly not accessible. So we can change that out, make it possible for you to really just participate in your classes to the best of your ability. We also provide lecture capture support, which is a fancy way of saying, helping you to make sure that you walk out of the classroom with the same level of knowledge and understanding as your non-disabled peers. So that might be giving you the option to record your lectures, giving you support with note-taking, giving you access to the presented material so that you're not having to juggle all 4 priorities of listening, thinking about, writing down, and asking questions to everything that's being presented all at once. And then we also have interpreting and captioning services available for students who have communication disabilities. Next slide. So that's really us in a nutshell. It definitely doesn't go over everything we do, but it's really what you need to know as far as kind of connecting with us. However, the process for connecting with us is also kind of step heavy. It's not extensive. We really try to make sure that it is as easy as possible, but there are steps. So the first step is notifying us, letting us know that you exist. So that can be calling, emailing us. We have an online appointment request form, which the link for that will be on the next slide. And I think you're getting a copy of the PowerPoint, so it should be clickable. Whatever it takes, you can walk in the door. We have somebody, a lovely woman, Diane, at the front desk. She's very nice. Come in, say hi, whatever gets you in the door. Your next step is going to be to meet with an accessibility counselor for a welcome meeting. That's going to be an hour-and-a-half conversation where you and your counselor really kind of sit down and chat about what are your barriers. Where is the academic environment inherently inaccessible for you, and what accommodations make sense to minimize those barriers. We do ask that you submit any documentation that you have from a medical or mental health provider. However, documentation is absolutely not necessary to have that first meeting. We don't want any barriers to that for getting you in the door. So if you don't have documentation, you're not sure that what you have is enough or sufficient or says the right thing, or it's from when you were first starting your undergrad or K through 12, it doesn't matter. Bring whatever you have. If you don't have anything, that's okay. Please just come in and meet with us. If we need more documentation or different documentation, we will let you know in that first meeting. During that first meeting, you will determine accommodations. We do provide training and orientation to what those accommodations are, how they work, the logistics of implementing them. We really try to make sure you walk out of that first meeting with all the tools and resources you need. And then from there, on a course-by-course and semesterly basis, you'll implement those accommodations. And some of those we take care of. You don't have to do anything at all. Some of them you will have to request them each semester because your classes change, right? Sometimes the furniture is great in the classroom. You don't need anything new. Sometimes not so much. So you have to let us know what you need and where, and then we make sure that it happens. And then next slide. So that's kind of my spiel. I wanted to keep it short. I know you all have a really packed hour, but please contact us if you have questions, if you're If I went through this too quickly and you want me to repeat something or clarify something, or if you just want to get a little bit more information about what we do, please call us, email us, submit that online form. You can peruse our website. We are updating it. So if you see changes from week to week, that's because we are very, as quickly as we can, making sure that all the information is accurate. So yeah, that's it.
Thank you so much. And I hope everyone sort of gets that feel of, while this is a large institution, you are able to reach out to people and get in touch with those that you need to get help. It's something I've noticed being here as well. Even people coming out to have a presentation like this, you're able to get a lot of people that are interested in your well-being and you being successful here. So I hope that comes across today as well. So a couple of departments that couldn't be here tonight, but did want to share some information with you all that they thought would be important for you. One of them is ACE, which was talked about earlier, your academic advising and career education. So I know that this is super important for everyone in this room, making sure you get the right classes, and then, starting to do your work that you need to do to advance your career and get those, opportunities you need to advance. And so these are their connections here that they wanted you all to have. The biggest things they wanted to make sure that we got across today was that they wanted you to connect with them on social media. They do updates on new jobs and internship programs weekly. It's another way to get your ear to the ground and hear about those opportunities before others. So make sure you're following them. They have different applications that you all can use to help find a job on campus. Get Hired is the website that they use. Also, they have career platforms called Handshake, which you'll probably become familiar with. It's a job searching tool that we have on our campus. They also have Cal State S4, Interview Stream, and ONET. So many things that give you access to search sites and platforms that you can use in looking for a job or internship. And then speaking of internships, the last thing that they wanted to point out was that you should start a year in advance if you're looking for internships due to the application process. Usually that starts in the fall semester, so for the next summer. So it's something you all should think about beforehand. Don't wait until your last semester here to start thinking about finding that career or job. They want you to start now. You should get experience in your major career field. And then, the biggest thing was that to make an appointment with a career counselor, you just log into Bay Advisor to schedule an appointment. So we want you to make sure you take advantage of ACE and what they have to offer. right, so we want to make sure everyone's using ACE as a resource. And then finally, the Center for Student Research, which Dr. Brown brought up earlier, the director of the center, Jenny O, just wanted to provide a message to you all about the Center for Student Research and how important it is, as you all will be doing work. Many of you doing in-depth research and will be needing to work with faculty and getting funding and that kind of thing. And this office is able to help with you all. One of the things she wanted us to point out for you all is to follow them, their website, as well as their social media. They were bragging that they had a pretty huge social media presence on Instagram. So make sure you follow them here at CSRC SUEB. So definitely reach out if you're interested in learning more about research. And like I said, this information will be provided to you all through these slides. So with all of that being said, we want you all to focus on that final thing, which is graduating from Cal State East Bay. We have this video that we like to play for our incoming students, but we feel like it's very appropriate for our grad students, as you all will become pioneers and become alumni of this university. You see a lot of the fields and a lot of diversity in the alumni that we have. So they offer a challenge of the things that help them be successful at our campus that they can share with you.
Welcome, Pioneer, to Cal State East Bay. I'm Alan Kwan, president of the Cal State East Bay Alumni Association. I remember my orientation. I was just as nervous and excited as you are to start college. My advice to you is to try something new. Be bold. And I've asked fellow Pioneer alumni to come and challenge you.
And my challenge for you is to always leave things better than when you found them. That goes for people, your workplaces, your classrooms.
My advice to all of you guys is to do what you want to do and to be who you want to be.
I challenge you to create a business that has never been done before, while inspiring and giving back to your communities.
My challenge for you is be patient, work hard, and find your dreams. And remember, find your dreams.
I challenge you to do what's uncomfortable, because that's where you'll grow, that's where you'll change, and you'll make a difference.
There's going to be all kinds of different experiences. Some of them are going to be positive, some are going to be negative. And it's not the experiences that you have that shapes your outcomes, it's your reaction to those experiences. So my advice is focus on the things that you can control.
I challenge you to become change agents. Go back to your respective communities, meet with your local officials, and ask them what you can do to be a part of the solution. Become those change agents. I know you can do it.
I challenge you to ask questions because you have nothing to lose but everything to gain.
I want to challenge you when you get out there into your work lives and after you leave college to do something that makes a difference in people's lives. Explore those opportunities. Make sure that when you go out and whatever you do, that you're making someone's day better every day you get up and go out.
Make it an effort to go seek out different sources of support, be it clubs, be it organizations, being in a tribe of research fellows or anyone that you can go to. I think one of the biggest things that East Bay gave me was different tribes of people that I could call friends and family.
I challenge you to see what happens when you don't quit.
So right now I'm challenging you to dream and reach for the stars, because dreams do come true because you are a pioneer.
All right, so we hope you're getting a little inspired by what you're seeing and some of the things that you all can do. And so we're excited to welcome you to our alumni family soon, and hopefully we can have a lot of you in a video like this in the future. A lot of the things they talked about, we're going to talk about here in your breakout sessions, but some of those things that are specific to Cal State East Bay that will be helpful for you is obviously your Horizon email is your #1 thing. That's how you're going to get all the information that you need. So make sure you're logging into that and checking it daily. Making sure you also log into Blackboard. You'll go over Blackboard in your breakout sessions. So you'll be able to check out what that's like. They'll go over it and you'll be able to log into Blackboard modules, so which will have a lot of resources for you. And then Basync is kind of our social media site where we do all of our events and activities. So log into Basync, take advantage of what happens on this campus. That way you can always have that sort of holistic experience here at Cal State East Bay. Some of these things we talked about already, but getting that academic support, academic advising, the Student Center for Academic Achievement, things for our online tutoring. It's, these things are free for you. logging in a Handshake to get a job. So we want to make sure you're taking advantage of these resources as well, and making sure you're signing up for those free resources that you have. And then we also ask that you practice self-care. So, we have our Peer Advocates for Wellness, which is our PAW, as well as Recreational and Wellness Center, which is RAW. So that's our gym. So you're able to take advantage of those things as well. And then, of course, student health and counseling services. So your mental health is the number one thing. One of those things I had to remember as a grad student, the amount of work you do, making sure you take time for yourself and to take care of yourself. And then, of course, we want you to get involved. Like, go ahead and join some of these clubs, some of these organizations that have like-minded people in them. This is the best way for you to stay connected to our university and to find your space here. We also have our Office of Diversity, Diversity and Student Inclusion Center. So a lot of those things that'll be able to help you find your people here as well. And then we have our social media here that we also plug. So you can take a screenshot of this. We'll also send this to you in the slide deck as well. So follow us. We'll be doing a lot of different activities and things that you all can follow throughout your time here at East Bay. So with that being said, it's now time that we're going to break you all into breakout rooms. So you're going to get to have some one-on-one time with our student leaders who are orientation team leaders. Many of them were students just like you who wanted to give back and help students come to Cal State East Bay. So this is a great opportunity for you to ask them questions, learn about things like BaySync and BayCard and all that kind of stuff. So we will set you up for breakout rooms. You're going to get an invite. So join those, and then we'll meet you back here for a Q&A.
I am so sorry, but which breakout room do I go to real quick? I wasn't able to check that.
You're in number 1. You're all in the correct breakout room, so you don't have to jump around.
Thank you.
Welcome back. Let me stop. Oh, I was getting ready to date myself.
So welcome back to everyone. We hope you're able to get some information from our O team. We know it's a quick time limit, but we did want to respect everyone's time today and get you all out of here by 8. So for this last few minutes, we wanted to see if anyone had any last minute questions that we could answer. Feel free to raise your hand on the Zoom and we'll call on you for our last few minutes.
You can use the raise your hand function, drop your question in the chat, or simply unmute yourself and ask a question.
Yes, I have a question. I've already gotten started on the graduation orientation, the one that's due on January 14th, or some sources say the 17th, but what exactly does it entail? Does it involve writing essays?
Yeah, that's a great question. So those modules on Blackboard are, optional. You're not going to get penalized for not doing those.
Well, I still plan on doing it because I got plenty of time between now and January.
Yeah, it's just resources. It's
time.
Pretty much all of our resources on campus, financial aid, career services, all those things are in those modules. So if you want to learn about the campus, that's the best source to do it.
All right, I've been at Cal State since 2019, but I'm still going to do it.
Oh, perfect.
My group didn't finish we were just beginning to talk about the Blackboard and things like that. So we didn't get to cover everything and we got pulled back to the main room. So we didn't get the information.
Blackboard is our learning management system. It's where you'll log on to attend class. Whether you're attending classes online or in person, you will log on to Blackboard, bb.csueastbay.edu with your net ID and password. And that's where you'll access the syllabus or syllabi for the courses that you'll be taking. It's also where your instructor, your professor, or your faculty member will communicate with you. So if you've come from another university, maybe you used Canvas. Here at Cal State East Bay, our learning management system is called Blackboard. All of you should be logging into Blackboard with your net ID and password. Once you register for classes, you'll see your courses populate on your Blackboard portal. Does that make sense? Questions, concerns?
It does. I know what to do. I've done it before.
Right on, Brian.
Yeah, and I see some people with some issues with logging into Blackboard. We did have some net IDs and stuff that weren't populating in Blackboard. So if you are having trouble logging into Blackboard, just email us at orientation@csueastbay.edu, and we'll get you access to Blackboard. So don't worry, you will be able to get in. And then I had someone message me with a question about classes. They asked if classes will still be opening up, if they can sign up for classes after December 7th. A lot of their classes are waitlisted, and they were worried about that. And so I know we've had this question earlier today, but signing up for classes will open up again after the 7th. So do not worry about that. You still will be able to sign up for classes. So there will be there'll be times when those open up for you. And someone could drop the link in the chat for the calendar for that. So you shouldn't have an issue, even if your classes are waitlisted, being able to still sign up for classes.
I have a question regarding the fee payments of the classes that I already enrolled in. So I paid my fees and I can see that there are no dues pending on my portal, but I didn't get any confirmation email regarding the class enrollment or anything. So is something I'm getting soon, or how can I confirm that?
Normally, that would only be through your MyCSUEB portal, correct? It is rare that MyCSUEB generates email notifications, right? And so you want to be constantly, and any current students can pop in on this, chime in, or drop some reactions. You want to always be checking MyCSUEB to track any updates or information related to your finances, academics, so on and so forth.
So
MyCSUEB is not going to generate an email notification. Does that make sense?
Usually, if I'm not seeing any dues there, does that mean that I'm good? Thanks.
Usually you'd only get notifications from your portal if you have past dues and you've been emailed by financial aid or some other departments, then they'd start emailing you. But that's only in the rarest of emergencies and past fees.
You'll log into your MyCSUE portal to manage anything related to your academics, enrolling for class, registering for class, finances, but you'll go to Blackboard to attend class. If you don't make any distinction this evening, make the distinction between MyCSUEB, handle your business, and Blackboard, attend class.
Anyone else have any last minute questions for us? Still have a couple minutes if you have anything.
I have a question.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, my internet, it's acting up, but so I'm on and off. So I registered for the Masters on e-learning, and I was wondering if it applies also that I also have to do all the modules on Blackboard, and if I have access to the Blackboard, I'm a little lost because I haven't really received anything about what to do to prepare for the spring semester. Could you help me a little bit here, or who do I contact?
Okay, so yeah, once again, the Blackboard modules are not mandatory, they're optional for you. And it's just more information to give you about departments on campus, other resources on campus. There's even a little tour in there if you want to look around campus, like a virtual tour to kind of see around, campus, since we can't do that in person for right now. That's pretty much what the modules is. So it's no pressure, no essays, nothing too hard. But again, it's also optional. So you don't have to do it, and it won't, keep you from enrolling in classes or anything like that.
Also, if you need some assistance with Blackboard, Blackboard has a wonderful help site. It's a knowledge base. It's called Blackboard Help, right? And you can get the information, like you might want to know, how do I post a discussion board to Blackboard? You can literally Google that. That will take you to Blackboard Learn and Blackboard Help, and it will kind of walk you through how to do it. Unfortunately, I've had to YouTube or Google how to use Blackboard several times, and I'm a faculty member. It's very easy to use and user-friendly, but if you just are in a rut, just remember you can go to Blackboard Help and you can get any resource that you need about how to navigate through that system. There's a lot of help on Cal State East Bay's website related to Blackboard as well. but we are graduate students in this room. We know we have to help ourselves sometimes, right? You can log on to Blackboard with your NetID and password at bb.csueastbay.edu, and the BB Help link just got dropped by our graduate student orientation team leader, Harsh. Thank you, Harsh.
And also Dr. Brown dropped the information for you that you had about speaking to the graduate coordinator about your e-learning program. So if you check that link right above there for you. All right, so we have time for one more question. I saw you put your hand up, so just you are good to go.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. I have a question.
Go ahead.
Yes. It's not like I'm wondering because of this COVID stuff. So is the class or planning, ESB is planning to be in person or online, the master's program for spraying? I'm enrolled in construction management, master's in construction management.
I can't speak specifically to your program, but I can tell you that Cal State East Bay is planning to return to in-person learning. We are not a completely online university, although many of our programs, specifically our graduate programs, are completely online. So you're going to have to double check with your program to see where they are on the spectrum of returning to in-person classes. Again, many of our graduate programs offer online courses or hybrid courses where you may be required to come to school on a Saturday 4 or 5 times a semester, and then online for the remainder of the 16 weeks. And so it will depend on your program and your major. But I want to be clear with all the grad students in the room that Cal State East Bay is moving back and heading towards in-person learning.
Thank you.
Yeah, once again, I want to thank you all for being here. This has been great to initially get to meet you all and get to hear some of your questions and experiences. And we asked if you have any other questions, drop them to us at orientation@csueastbay.edu. We asked that you come out to our virtual open house sessions next week. That way you'll get to meet some departments, face-to-face on Zoom and ask some of these questions. You all should have got an invite to that this morning, or you will be getting an invite to that, sorry. So you'll be getting that in your email today. So just make sure that you join us. We'll be on campus on the 13th of January. So just lots of ways for you to still get involved and to come see us. So thank you for coming today. You all are free to go. We appreciate you being here, and welcome to Cal State East Bay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nick.
Thank you.
Thank
See y'all soon.
Thank you, everyone.
Welcome to Cal State East Bay, TGIF.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, guys.
Welcome to East Bay. Bye.
Bye.